Welcome to the Daily Record Spin. I'm your host, Jimmy Clements. Joining me today, as always, is my little brother who just had his 29th birthday. It's Danny Oki. Danny, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing good. Another year older. The last year of my youth, as one might say.
Yeah. I think I've said it before on this podcast, but I literally cried myself to sleep on my 31st birthday because I
remember you saying that.
Felt like an old man. So
I kind of already feel like an old man, so it's really
yeah.
It's probably not gonna be that different to me.
We're both pretty domestic at this point, so you know.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I've been done with my 20s for like 3 years now. I'm okay.
I was in the same boat when I was in my late 20s, so I was kind of like,
I'm like, okay. Kind of over it.
Yeah.
So no, it's fine. But had a good birthday. Had a lot of fun. Had an incredible birthday party that I can talk about later on in the episode. But yeah, it was a good day. Good day. Happy to be back on the pod. It's been a while.
Yeah. So sorry to our listeners for how long it's been. We both had health issues that delayed 2 separate recordings for us. So anyway, thank you for your patience. We will not make this a regular habit. I know this year has been kind of up and down with stuff. I promise we're going to try to stick to this schedule. So real apologies to all of our dedicated listeners. Thank you for coming back. But because of our long absence, we have a loaded episode today. So I'm just going to give you the brief rundown of what we're going to talk about this episode. And then we'll just get to the first topic. So we're going to spend the beginning of the episode talking about TS12, the new Taylor Swift album announcement. It'll take up a chunk of time. We're going to move into some new segments. Danny's going to talk a little bit about going to Lollapalooza, which is a really cool event. And then we're going to wrap up the episode at the end with a new segment that we're rolling out this episode, our favorite albums of the 21st century so far. So we're actually going to roll that out over several episodes, but the first batch of albums that we chose is going to be the bookend of this episode. So why don't we just get into it? Taylor Swift over the past week started making hints online through her social team that something was coming. We got a teaser that Taylor was going to be on the New Heights podcast with her boyfriend Travis Kelce and his brother Jason Kelce, and then the next day came on and revealed her album. She actually had pre-orders for the album that we both are sickos for, and did before we even saw an album cover or name of the album. We just bought it. Which is
we had the name. We had the name.
Oh, well, we didn't know until we got into the website.
Well, right.
I guess
when we pre-ordered, we at least knew the name.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
But I think there's a lot to talk about. But I think we should just start talking about the podcast appearance, which was probably the best celebrity interview of all time.
It was awesome, man. I had so much fun listening to that podcast. Like, as a long-term Taylor Swift fan, it's been quite some time since she's really been that just candid and sat down for that, first of all, long of an interview.
2 hours.
And secondly, for an interview at all. Like, the last time she really did interviews was when she released the All Too Well 10-minute film. Like, and those weren't even that lengthy. So to see her just shooting the shit with her boyfriend and his brother was so, I don't know. It was so fun as a fan to just see her that casual and laid back after so many years of, Beyonce level stardom and relationship with the media. So yeah, I loved it.
Oh, it was amazing. I mean, for me, it's like, it's checking off all the boxes because I already like the New Heights podcast. I do only listen to it during the season because it's just kind of lame in the off season. They're not like the best off season content, but like, I already liked the show. So having Taylor on there was just like a match made in heaven. I've been waiting for it forever because I figured it would happen at some point. So
yeah, I figured it would too, but a part of me almost thought maybe it would never also, just because with how quiet she's been for so many years. I mean, she was very honest in her interview of her relationship with social media and with the media in general, and just not really wanting to be too involved, which I question the veracity of that to an extent. I think she is still very much online reading up on things. I don't think she'll ever be able to let that go, but I do think in some aspects she protects herself from a lot of it as well.
Yeah, I think she kind of reneged on that later in the episode when she was talking about how she's on your sourdough blog.
Right.
To me, I think she is chronically online. I just think she's good about not looking at the stuff that's about her.
Yeah, she does it in a smart way, but at the same time, like the day that episode came out, she was on Twitter liking a bunch of fans' conspiracy theories and Easter egg tweets. Like I saw at least 5 different people being like, "Oh my god, Taylor just liked my tweet." So like she's still there, she's still lurking, she's still Taylurking, as they say. But yeah, so I don't know how true it is, but I do at least know that she has been more protective of her piece in the past, I would say since COVID really is when that relationship with social media changed. So
yeah,
this feels like a big departure from the precedent she set pre-Eras Tour to now.
Yeah, I totally agree. I commented to you while I was watching it that it reminded me of young Taylor, like watching her in that interview. She like just really seemed open and honest and herself. And I was just really excited to see that. It means she's like safe and comfortable in that relationship. And also got to shout out Jason for being a great interviewer. Like he was
where
killing
did that come from? He was he was asking all the right questions. Yeah, all of the right questions. Nothing went untouched. I felt like in that episode, I did not leave being like, oh, but what about nothing? No. He hit everything. Boom, boom, awesome. Boom. It was
and
awesome.
Apparently didn't know that they were going to announce the album.
Do you believe that for 1 second? I don't.
What I think is they told him that Taylor is a very special announcement. I don't think he is a music person, so he probably never conceptualized that she was about to talk about a new album that just is coming out. Because he seemed, that was the only part of the interview. The reason I do believe that is that was the only part of the interview where I felt like he was still kind of struggling to ask questions.
See, I feel the opposite. I feel like the part of the interview that I wanted to see the most was her talking about this album, and I felt like every question that I had about it, he asked. I feel like he was prepared.
Maybe he was.
I don't buy it that he didn't know. I buy it that he hasn't heard it, or maybe hadn't seen the cover or whatever. But I don't think he went in blind. I can't imagine he went in blind. Yeah, I feel like just knowing her. I mean, they probably had to sign NDAs and stuff for that episode. The PR teams had to be involved for both camps. Like, it's not as easy as we're going to turn on the mic and pop on here. Like the amount of cuts and edits in that interview.
Oh, there were a lot. Yeah.
Tree Paine was all over that episode. She was like, nope, get rid of that. Nope, get rid of that. Skip to that. There's no way that not every part of that was planned for.
I'm sure just like any family relationship, they said some like sort of off the record things that they had to cut out.
100%. 100%. Yeah. No, they definitely got to like shoot the shit, but I do think parts of it were heavily edited out to make sure that we were keeping Taylor's image the way they want it to be kept,
Yeah.
And that's fine. I understand.
I will never have an issue with controlling the presentation of what gets in and out. I don't like it when it's overly filtered or just like downright falsified. For instance, like Hard Knocks, the HBO NFL documentary series. For the last few years, it's just been schlock because it's like the teams so tightly control everything that comes in and out that it's not even like a real story anymore. It's just kind of like advertising for the league. Right. So I hate that, but like, I don't mind if you're like, I said some stuff. I'm like, maybe not on the internet.
Yeah. For sure. But let's get into some of the specifics here. Other than her like 20-minute tirade on sourdough and all of her domestic, new hobbies that she's engaged in, which I found actually incredibly charming.
Super.
So some of the main highlights were her very, very openly and candidly talking about her re-recording process and the process of reobtaining her masters. I found myself very emotional during that. It's such a unique thing that she did here, just in that before this, I didn't give a shit about any of this stuff. I didn't know about the music business side of this, and her bravery has opened up so many conversations for so many artists and just for the general population to know what any of this means and to care about it. I can't think of any other artist who could have successfully pulled that off, let alone gotten an entire community of music fans to care this much about music business. So seeing her get choked up about it was very heartwarming, and I'm very happy for her that what she set out to do, she was able to accomplish.
I think my major takeaway from watching the interview of her talking about that in particular is you realize that in her mind, money was never a part of that.
Never.
She just wanted to own the thing that she made. And I really think that's so pure and beautiful. And like, I did not sense a false bone in her body when she was talking about that. So I'm really, really happy for her. And I think that's super cool.
Yeah.
That she was able to get the masters back.
I think this is also the most likable she's come across in a very long time.
Definitely.
A lot of the business decisions in the past 5 years, I think, have left some people with a sour taste in their mouth in terms of her persona and who she is as to her core as a person. And I felt like this finally reminded us that she's just a millennial girl. She's just a girl.
100%.
And that. Talking about the recordings in that openly, and her getting choked up about it, I felt like I related to her again for the first time in a long time. So that was a cool segment of the podcast. Obviously, let's talk about the album. So
let's get into it.
October 3rd, we have The Life of a Showgirl coming out. It is Taylor's 12th studio album, produced entirely by Max Martin and Shellback, which I am like, I could cry. I could actually cry. Let's talk about how everything she said is exactly what we have been asking for years.
Yes.
So, first of all, she better be telling the truth. She better not be gassing this up and it be ass, okay? Because she put a lot of stake on this thing. Like, she went on there and said, I am incredibly proud of this work, more proud than I have been in a long time. I set out to create something that I was just as proud of as the Eras tour.
Yeah, that statement was wild. A statement
wild.
An album that was as good as the Eras tour, which is probably the greatest tour of all time.
Of all time, right?
That's a wild statement.
She's gassing this up a lot, and I do think she's smart. Like, I don't think she didn't pitch Tortured Poets like that. She didn't pitch Midnights like that. I feel confident that if she's really saying that and is willing to put those words on the line like that, then she really means it. And I wouldn't doubt that after not working with Max and Shellback for, what is it now, like 7 years?
7, 8 years, something like that. Yeah.
8 years, maybe. I would not doubt that they were able to create some magic in the studio. So I'm trusting her vision on that. And if it's true, holy shit, we're in for a ride. What were your first thoughts on the name before we knew the cover? When you heard the name, The Life of a Showgirl, what were your first thoughts?
Kitschy was the first thing that came to my mind.
Yeah, I found it very corny.
Yeah, I worried we were going down the Tortured Poets route to the point of just caricature at that point.
Me too. Yeah, it's one of my least favorite album titles she's had so far. After hearing her describe it, I feel like I understood it better. Like, when I first heard it, I was like, why couldn't you just call it Showgirl? Like, if it was just called Showgirl, I would have been in. Like, that would have been instant imagery that I could get behind, yada, yada, yada. I also miss her one-word album titles. I just think they flow off the tongue so much better. After hearing her describe it and her kind of diving into, this is, what happens behind the curtain when the showgirl goes home. What are the emotions, the feelings, the things going on at that time. So I understand why she went The Life of a Showgirl rather than just Showgirl. But I agree with you that corny was the first thing that came to my mind. I was like, oh boy, kind of like an eye roll when I first heard it. What were your first thoughts when you first saw the cover?
Immediately understood everything and liked it.
Yep.
So for me, she's reviving a sort of American archetype that hasn't really existed in a very long time, which is the idea of the vaudeville showgirl. And she's kind of brought that imagery into the modern day with the album art and everything.
Yep.
And I think that's really, really cool. I'm excited to see the kind of storytelling that she's going to do on the album, if it is as focused as she says it is, which is probably our next major takeaway here.
Yes, that's one of the things that we've been begging for from her is focused, intentional songwriting, quality over quantity, tight lyricism rather than overbloated lyricism.
Which she admitted to doing on Tortured Poets.
She did, 100%. And above all else, melodies. She described this as melodic to the point where you find it annoying. And I said, that is exactly what I need from you, Miss Swift. Thank you, because there is not a melody to be found on the entire 31 tracks of the Tortured Poets department. So I am ready for a melody. Okay, there are exceptions.
There's like 5.
There are exceptions. Yeah, there's like 5 incredible songs.
Like a 17 to 18% hit rate on that album.
100%. So just hearing her describe, literally like going into my brain and pulling out every word that I've been begging for the last like 4 years from her. What else could I ask for? That's exactly what I needed, exactly what I wanted, and let alone bangers, as Travis Kelce made sure to not let us miss that it's full of bangers.
So some things I got from this interview, just knowing Travis and Jason, and I was like a massive Travis Kelce fan way before he was dating Taylor Swift. So like I know Travis Kelce.
Right.
And 2 major takeaways. He was geeking out about this new album. Like you could tell from his like expressions and everything. But I think the biggest giveaway was like Jason, he's uncultured. Like I love Jason. He's like a sweetheart. He's very like you know, just dad, but he doesn't know shit about anything. And the fact that Travis was like, you're gonna like these, they're like 1989. That to me like was like that's true. Huge. That's just true. Like that's not gas. Like he wouldn't ever say that to Jason if he did not believe it wholeheartedly.
Correct. And we all know that Travis is like the number one 1989 stan that exists. Like huge. He's never missed a moment to tell you how much he loves 1989, which I just find very charming. So you're right, for him to be saying that these are like 1989 level bangers. I'm like, please God, let that be true.
Lord,
we need it. I was thinking about it the other day. What is the last huge hit that Taylor Swift has had that rivals like the 1989 era? Does she have one
in the moment or later?
Because you could make an argument for Cruel Summer, right?
Is that what you were about to say? Of. Yes.
Yeah. I think you could make an argument for Cruel Summer. I do. I think it's still probably her highest streaming song daily right now.
Is it still? Okay, then I would definitely count it. Just the way music works, that's a hit now.
And other than that, it's like Anti-Hero, but that wasn't a hit. That's not to the same level. It was a moderate hit, but it wasn't like a 1989 hit. So I am really hoping.
Did Lavender Haze never get dropped as a single?
No, it did, and it flopped. And I don't understand, because Lavender Haze is a certified hit to me. Like one of my all-time favorite Taylor Swift songs. Yeah. I love that song.
Jack really ate on that one.
Yeah, he did. No, but I think I know she's probably not going to do it. I want her to release a lead single so bad. She hasn't done it since Lover. And I just think if you're going to make one era in her modern day to release a lead single, this feels like the one to do it, right? This feels like we're aiming for 1989. And if you're going to do that, I want a rollout. I want lead singles. I want music videos. I want all of it to try and recreate some of that magic. Obviously it won't be the same. We're in the streaming age now. But I think she can get close if the songs are really this good.
Yeah, I agree. I give me something beforehand. Like I will say, once again, Taylor is just the mastermind. She was overexposed. Everyone was sick of her. She leaves for not that long, basically a year. Yeah, and now she's coming back as the savior of the music industry because this year has been dog shit, and suddenly that's the first thing on the calendar that anyone gives a shit about. I mean, that is like. How did she do this? Like,
I don't know.
I do want to get into some numbers real quick from the episode. I pulled these from her social team. Okay. Taylor Swift's debut on New Heights. 379 million views on Instagram. I want to repeat that number. 379 million. That's like 1/16 of the population of the globe.
Yep.
Saw a clip of this on Instagram. Okay. It had 61.6 million views on X, 34.5 million views on TikTok, 15 million views on YouTube, 15 million views. The live stream, when it was airing, hit 1.3 million people watching at the same time. The episode stream crashed. Taylor passed 3 million followers on Instagram. 400,000 new YouTube subscribers to the New Heights podcast, and the most concurrent podcast listeners ever.
I mean, what can you say?
She's a titan of industry. She's the Rockefeller of music.
Yeah, correct. We have not seen this level of fame since Michael Jackson. We just haven't.
No, not even close. Nowhere close.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Also, can we talk about the things just like work out for her? Can we talk about the fact that the concurrent streams on the podcast peaked at 1.3 million? 13. I mean, just like things just work out.
I mean, she is a witch. Like, she's definitely a witch.
She is a witch. Totally a witch. She sold her soul to the devil at some point and is getting all these magical voodoo things to happen for sure.
Maybe, yeah. Or she just tapped into like the supreme consciousness and is like, woo.
I don't know, man. It's crazy.
Everything works out for her, though. It really is true.
Yeah. Going back to the cover, because I realized I never gave my opinion, I was immediately gagged by this. I think this is her. The funny thing is, when I first saw it, immediately, you can ask Hunter, the first thing I said is, this is her best album cover since Reputation. And I mean that fully with my whole chest. And then it came out, who photographed it? The same people that photographed Reputation cover.
Oh.
Of course. Same photographer. She hasn't worked with them since. Those are her best album covers. I'm so gagged by this, and people really hate it. Like, I've seen a lot of hate online for it, which is like, this is par for the course for a Taylor Swift release. The lyrics are going to leak and everyone's going to say they're cringy. You're going to see the album cover for the first time, and everyone's going to say it's horrible. You're going to see the name for the first time, everyone's going to say it's horrible. And then everyone's going to be sat on October 3rd and gagged, right? Like, that's just how it is. But I don't understand the hate for the album cover at all. I think it's immediately entrancing. I feel like it tells a million stories with just one picture. And I am the color scheme, the fragmented like glass motif that's going on throughout the cover is like, I'm here. I am sat. It's so good. It just grabs your attention immediately, which is something that a lot of her covers recently have not done for me. So
yeah,
I'm very excited. I was telling Hunter, like, I feel like I could have used a break up until like January. Like, if we could have made it to the calendar year of 2026, I would have been ready. But anything before then is going to be too soon for me. And of course, with Taylor,
it wasn't too soon.
It wasn't too soon.
Because I saw this recently, and it's really like, boom, like instantly knew this was true. Mm-hmm. I saw guy on TikTok saying that like, there is never a supply and demand issue for quality.
Yes.
Like, he was like, there's just an endless stream of content nowadays, but like, truly, if something is great, everyone will be ready for it. Everyone wants that. So, if she really did put it all the work into this album to make it an album that is fantastic, people don't mind that it's a little early, Yep.
I agree. Yeah, that's a very good point. And I think that has never been more true than this year, where we've just been lacking on so much quality. For basically the entire calendar year. I think, besides a few albums here and there, I think people needed a blockbuster, and here it is. Yeah. So I'm ready for it.
Yeah. Also, I want to mention, again, the 4 quadranting of Taylor Swift. So she says, hey, I worked with Max Martin on this album, and I go, oh my God. And then she goes, and I have a song with Sabrina Carpenter, and Sarah goes, oh my God. Like, it's just one of those things. She has something for everyone at all times.
She does.
She just knows. And the Sabrina Carpenter thing this is chef's kiss, because she brings her along and helps her become the star that she is. And now she gets to capitalize on her stardom that she helped make to reinvigorate her career. I mean, it's just
crazy.
Come on, man. Yeah. No one's better at this than her.
It's wild. Like Sabrina, like the Eras tour really is the reason Sabrina is where she is now.
Yeah.
And to see
a lot
that
of people
come
don't know
full
that.
Circle.
Yeah.
I know. But to see that come full circle in such a short period of time. I mean, it's the same thing with Travis. Like, mind you, when she started the Eras tour, they had not met. And now he is her full-fledged boyfriend because of the Eras tour, and is in the gets to help with the whole process of an album release. It's like about him, probably.
Yeah, let's be honest. Like half the songs are probably about Travis. So.
It's probably about him. Yeah, it's like. Also, when does this woman fucking sleep? God damn, she wrote 2 albums during the Eras tour. 2.
I would like to say I feel like having all of the money in the world does help a lot with that.
Well, obviously,
but you just never have to worry about like anything.
Even with all the money in the world,
focus on what you want to do.
But here's what's different about Taylor Swift. Most people, if they had all the money in the world, would not give a fuck about any of this.
I agree.
They would go on tour, they would get their bag, and they would chill.
Yeah.
And then a few years down the line, they would do it all again to get more money, right? But this is what makes her different. That part of it to her, yes, of course, it can buy you comfort. It can buy you the resources to fly to Sweden every day, right? Of course, it can give you those resources, but she does not tap out ever.
No, she
because
doesn't.
of money. She doesn't. And she would not have done that many tour dates if that were the case. Like she could have been fine with making $1 billion off that tour and gone home, and we would have never seen her again. But she did 1 million dates and got $2 billion and wrote, recorded, produced, and released 2 albums in that time frame just because she loves it. It's just for the love of the craft and no other reason.
She's like Michael Jordan because it's the love of the game, man. She wants to win MVP and win the championship every single year.
Every time.
She wakes up every day like, all right, let's go.
Yep.
Athlete mentality. It's crazy.
She still cares.
And that's why
over
I think
20
Travis
years in
is
her
such
career.
a good match for her.
Yeah.
Because he's like
I
that.
agree. He is like that. Yep. But yeah, 20 years into her career, most people would have fizzled out by now. But she uses every new artist who rises, every new piece of music that gets popular, she uses that as fuel to do better and better and better and better, which I admire a lot. So anyways, I'm ready.
Any other thoughts on the podcast in general? We were definitely fed, I will say.
We were fed.
That's really one of my favorite things I've watched all year.
Yeah. So, but, I mean, it was an event. Like we sat down, we had popcorn, we did the whole thing. Like this was like a movie premiere to us. Like it was a big deal. And it's a big deal to a lot of people. Like you can really tell how many people are tuned into this now. It's very cool. It reminds me of monoculture, which I miss.
It does. And I will say I saw a lot of people in the comments that are like, hey, I really like New Heights podcast and always listen to this. Never have listened to a Taylor Swift interview. Thought she was super cool and down to earth. Like a lot of people were saying that.
That's really cool.
So
that's really, really cool. Okay. Again, that makes me happy to hear.
Is she doing the Super Bowl?
No, she's not doing the Super Bowl.
Why not?
I know that people think there are conspiracy theories out there that you can go find why she's doing it. She doesn't need it. She doesn't need it.
But here's the one thing. I don't think she needs it. Of course she doesn't.
Yeah.
But all of the other icons of her era have done it.
Correct.
So I do feel like at some point she has to check the box. And it would make sense to do it while Travis is still playing. Because I feel like, unlike most artists who have to completely pay for their thing to Super Bowl, I bet her team will work out some sort of like media share deal. Because she knows that she's going to bring in a bunch of revenue.
Yeah. Listen, I would be thrilled if she would do it. Like, of course, I want her to do it. But I don't know. Just part of me feels like the Super Bowl is often like a legacy performance for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I just don't think she's there yet. I think she's still at the top of her game. But then again, like Lady Gaga did it when she was at the top of her game, and Katy Perry did it when she was at the top of her game.
Beyonce too in 2013.
Yeah. I think that was right before I feel like she was skyrocketed to like mega fame. I don't know
true. That's true.
Would do it now.
But I think Beyonce, because Beyonce's self-titled came out, 2015 or 2014?
No, it was 13. It was that year.
Oh, that was why she did it. She did it as a way to draw up, a lot of new fans and then be able to drop that album. And it was just kind of great.
That's true. Move. That is true. I don't know. Part of me just feels like she's going to wait for the right time to do it. And I think right now, while she's still getting 1.3 million people at one time to watch her on an interview, I don't know that she really feels the need to do that. And I don't know if she would feel this way, but if Travis were to make it to the Super Bowl, would she feel like she's stealing his thunder?
That's a great point. Yeah.
Or would they as a couple think it would be really fun to get to share that? I could see it going both ways.
I could too.
So I'm not saying it's totally out of the question. But I've seen other names thrown around like Miley Cyrus and someone else I can't remember that.
Yeah, I saw Miley.
I feel like are more likely to take it this year, but we'll see.
I think Miley's would have made sense if this new album did well, but now that it didn't, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know if she's big enough. And Jay-Z's in charge of selecting that, so he's going to tap into what people are listening to.
Jay-Z was actually the other person I saw as a contender.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't done it yet. So
yeah.
Mm-hmm. One of the biggest stars of the 2000s.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But when did they normally announce that? I feel like it's usually around the fall, isn't it?
It's usually like right around NFL kickoff, which we're in week 2 of preseason right now. So probably like 2-3 more weeks before that would be a thing. Right. Yeah.
Okay. We shall see.
All right. Let's move on to our next segment, which is I'm just going to open the floor for you to talk about Lollapalooza for a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Great. Okay, I'll touch on it briefly because at the point of this recording, it's now been like a million years in terms of pop culture years. But I will say Lolla was a lot of fun. I felt extraordinarily old. I've never felt so old in my life. I felt like Schmidt. I was like the youths everywhere. That was an eye-opening experience. But some highlights in terms of the shows. I mean, I got to see Olivia Rodrigo again, who is just like the most electric, dynamic act, like one of the most electric and dynamic acts you can see right now. She just is a superstar, not in the making. I'm not even going to say a superstar in the making, like full stop. She is a superstar now, and it's only going to get better. Like she is phenomenal. The songs bang live. Everybody is just screaming their faces off every time I've seen her. It's like she is everything and more that people make her out to be. I just am obsessed with her. She's wonderful. Someone I was really surprised by was Joe, who obviously I know you love, but
yeah, I'm seeing him soon too.
Yeah. So he has some songs that I like, but I'm not a huge fan, but we went because he was right before Olivia and he was phenomenal. I mean, the band was killer. The band was killer. He was a great performer. His voice sounds so great.
He's a great singer.
The flow of the show was really good. So many just moments where he let the band shine, and he brought out like a children's choir at the end, which was really special. I mean, it was just a great show. He was a showman, like really, really phenomenal. I got to see Remy Wolf again, who's obviously incredible. Got to see Phineas, who did a little bit more of a stripped back show. He's not as good of a performer as maybe I thought he would be. He was a little bit kind of like behind the piano most of the time kind of a guy. But still really good. Sounded great. He brought out Ash for their the Favors stuff that's coming out later this year. So that was cool. They sounded great together. And then
what's the style of the Favors music?
It's very folky. It's very
folk. Okay.
Yeah.
So kind of like Civil Warsy?
A little.
Ooh.
A little. Yeah.
I could be into that.
Yeah. It's pretty good. Sabrina was out of this world. I mean, she was so much fun. She just is such a character on the stage. I can't believe how comfortable she is on stage. Like it's only been really a year since she skyrocketed, and it feels like she's been doing this her whole life. And
I mean, she has
to an extent. She has, right? Not to the level of fame that she's at now, but she's performing as a seasoned pro.
Yeah,
just a seasoned pro, and the songs they're there. She has the songs now. Like most of the set was short and sweet, and I wasn't mad at it because all of those songs are phenomenal. And anytime she diverted from that and did something from Emos I Can't Send, it didn't hit as hard. So it's only gonna get better and better. I'm very excited for Man's Best Friend coming out next week. Is that next week? I think it is.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Okay.
Yeah. Well, like 13 days from today.
Okay. So I think based on what I'm hearing from some of the listening sessions from that, it sounds like it's right along the quality of short and sweet. So I'm excited for that. Yeah, those were the big highlights. It was a lot of fun. I don't know if I would do it again. We luckily had great weather. Music festivals are kind of a lot, but it was still a lot of fun. I'm really glad I went. I'm glad I went.
Awesome. Glad to hear that. Yep. Olivia did sort of announce her next project at the end of her set at the final night.
Teased. Yeah.
Yeah, teased. She was wearing a shirt that said OR3 and changed the lyric of her song to end with the word star. So people are speculating that is the title of the next album.
Yes. That's the rumor on the street.
Which would fit. So
we'll see.
It's a 4-letter word. So
right. So right in line with what she's been doing.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Sour
and the shirt was red, which she has been teasing this entire tour cycle. So
Yep. It's definitely going to be a switch to red, which is cool. I mean, she is truly the one true Tay daughter. Like,
yeah,
the Easter egging, the colors associated with the albums, the planning way out in advance. I mean, like, she's taken from Taylor's playbook so hard, and it's fun. It's really cool to see that.
Yeah, game recognized game. Yep. Oh, she brought out Weezer. Absolutely. Did you mention that?
Oh my God, I'm sorry, I forgot. Yeah, she brought out Weezer. They did Say It Ain't So and Buddy Holly, which was insane. So much fun. And immediately when she announced Weezer, I was like, oh, my brother is going to just hate me. That was my first thought. I was like, he's just. I was like, I hate when good things happen to people. It's not me. Yep. And then Sabrina brought out Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yeah,
which was
so cool.
Also incredible. I mean, it was so cool to see both of them doing acts that clearly influenced them in their youth. That, you know, they're not trying to ride the bandwagon of like people that are popping off right now. They're truly paying respects to the artists that paved the way for them to do what they're doing now. And I love to see that. It was cool.
Really cool. Yeah. Okay. So we were going to do a whole episode on this next topic that got lost in the ether because of the health stuff. But listen, if you like what you're about to hear and you want a full episode on it, hit us up. We might do one. Who knows? If enough people want it, we'll do it. But we're going to talk about the Hayley Williams drop. She mysteriously dropped 17 singles on her website, and then later in the week on Spotify and Apple Music and, you know, all the platforms. And it's not technically an album, but it is, though. And I want you to describe how you feel about whether it's an album or not, and what do you think is the onus of this whole project?
I think this is like the most genius marketing that I've seen in a long time for music. And it's coming from Hayley Williams, who I never perceived as someone who really cared about that.
No, me neither.
But I have never, and to be fair, I am down bad for this woman and have been since I was like 12 years old. So I fully accept the personal bias here, but I personally have never had so much fun with a rollout in an album cycle like I have with this one. I mean, I have been fully immersed. I have been connecting with other fans, posting on Twitter like I'm freaking 14 years old, like,
and getting comments from Hayley Williams.
Yeah, and getting my tweet put on her Instagram story, which about had me pass out, which is pretty special. But so basically, so she drops 17 songs on her website. You need a passcode to access them, and the passcodes were given out on her through her hair dye, the Good Dye Young brand. And so people who bought the hair dye is called Ego. People who bought the Ego dye got this code and was basically like, go to my website, plug this in. And people were like, okay. So they did that, and there they are, 17 songs. Wow. And those fans who bought the hair dye were encouraged to share the codes. So of course they started getting blasted on the internet. Everybody started getting access to this. I was in the middle of my workday on a random Monday, and all of a sudden I saw this, and I logged on, and there was a whole album on her website, and I went, holy fuck. I listened through a couple times on the website. I downloaded everything from a Google Drive that somebody had posted. I figured out how to do local files on my Spotify so I could get the downloaded files onto my Spotify and into a playlist. I went really hard for this, and I spent the entire week listening to it on my Spotify local files. Then on Friday of that week, she drops all of them as individual singles on Spotify and, other streaming platforms, all with different covers, different artwork. And at first I was like, why the fuck is she not just dropping this as an album? Like, this feels very clearly like an album to me. But what ensued because of that, I think, is so special. And for someone like me who cares so deeply about the album as an art form, was surprised at how much I liked this, because it gave the fans the opportunity to experience the music however they felt like, whatever spoke to them in a way, whether that be narratively, whether that be driven by emotion. I've seen people separate these songs into themes. Like these are the grief songs, these are the love songs, these are the yada yada yada, and do it as like a 3-part thing.
Which makes sense because of her first album that she did.
Right. Yes. Yeah, exactly. Which was also a 3-part release. And then people like me who went more of the musical route and wanted to make it flow in terms of, upbeats, downbeats, melody wise, all that kind of stuff. And seeing people, the creativity from the fandom get together, and some guy made a website for everybody to upload their playlists to, and created stats on the tracks, like the track numbers for all the albums. Like, what is the most popular track 1? What's the most popular track 2 across all of the playlists that are uploaded? I think there's like over 3,000 playlists uploaded to that website now. People are making artwork off of it. It's just the most interactive. It's like a choose your own adventure story, but in music form. And it's been very special to experience, and I absolutely love it. So I do think it's an album, and Hayley herself has gone on and said, we are going to package this as an album. We are going to release it on physical. I think physical media is really important right now, and I don't want to miss out on that opportunity. But I wanted to see, and made it clear that she planned this, I wanted to see how the fans experienced it, because in my own head, I could not organize this. I could not figure out how this all made sense as one project, which is why I released it as individual singles. I wanted to see how the fans were interacting, how they were pairing all these together. And I'm basically listening, and I'm seeing everybody posting, and I'm going to talk to my team, and we're going to figure this out, essentially. So I do think it was meant to be an album in the long run, but in the short run, I really think she wanted the fans to have something special, and to kind of help her figure this out and organize her thoughts, which is super cool. It's very cool.
Yeah, I do love that. Any songs you want to hit briefly before we move on that you really want to talk about?
First of all, spoiler alert, this is like the best music I've heard all year for me personally. I feel like this is such a deeply effective body of work, and the most emotionally raw she's ever been in her entire career.
Yeah, for sure.
So much so to like, sometimes it feels uncomfortable and like I'm intruding.
Agreed.
Like deeply, deeply powerful stuff that she's written here. But the few I want to point out, I think I have 4 tracks that I feel like over the moon excited about. The first is Whim, which is kind of like an early 2000s, almost like Sheryl Crow-esque pop ballad. That's probably my favorite on the whole project. It changes a lot, but the melodies on that one are just crazy to me. It's also like the one love song. So yeah, there's that. Hard is a Billie Eilish song in Hayley Williams form, and I'm dying for a collab on that. The song True Believer is having a moment on TikTok right now. It's also atop all of the alternative charts based on the insane digs she took at the South and Christianity and the hypocrisy that runs so rampant in those communities. It's some profound shit. And if you have not heard True Believer, if I'm going to recommend you go listen to one, it's that one. It's wow. It's outstanding lyricism. I think it's her best writing ever.
Yeah, I do think it's my song of the year so far, if I'm being honest.
Yes.
It's a masterclass of songwriting. Yeah.
It 100% is. I could not agree with you more. And then the last one is what I think is getting kind of the single treatment right now, is Ego Death at a Bachelor Party.
Great song.
Which has a music video now. And that is one I literally cannot get out of my head 24/7. It is always in my head at all times of the day. And I never get tired of listening to it. So those are the 4 that I want to shout out, but all 17 are truly spectacular.
Yeah.
So highly recommend.
I love Fuck It Hayley song. She has some sometimes.
Yes.
And I just That's what Ego Death is for sure.
For
also,
sure.
another artist bringing up Ego Death this year. I'm telling you, we got to keep noticing these patterns, man.
Last year was the year of Saturn Returns. This year is the Ego Death. What's next year going to be? We'll see. But I know it's so wild how that happens.
It is, because these artists are all writing at the same time. So
I know
they're not hearing the other people's art when they're writing. Right. It's just in the consciousness.
I saw this theory that online that was like, if you put energy out into the universe creatively and say, I really need to get this out, but then you don't get it out, somebody somewhere will pick up that energy and do that. I think that's part of this, because I saw someone on TikTok who said, for the last like 3 years, I've been writing a song called Ego Death at a bachelorette party. And literally same title. She said, I've never interacted with Hayley Williams. I've respected her as an artist for so long. I literally adore her. Our teams have never interacted. I don't know how this happened, but for 3 years, I've been writing this song and I just haven't been able to release it or get it right. And she picked it up. And she's like, I don't know if it got back to her, the title at some point, but she's like, that's a crazy coincidence.
That is nuts.
Because that is such an unusual name for a song. So
it's super weird.
I found that wild, like absolutely wild.
So I'll also shout out Mirtazapine, which is just a Paramore song.
It's so good.
I love
Paramore. But grungier. It's quite a bit grungier than a Paramore song.
It sounds like more like
it's very garage bandy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very garage bandy.
It is,
which I love. I love Mirtazapine. It's a great song.
And then I also really love Discovery Channel, which does use the lyrics of a song from my youth. You and me, baby, we ain't nothing but mammals. Let's do it like we do on the Discovery Channel. So I just really like the vibe of that song. It's just like a chill.
Need you to know that was my least favorite for a long time.
Really? Really?
It has now stuck. I now understand it. I've fathomed it more. But I also need you to know I had never heard that other song before.
Oh,
completely escaped me.
That was the thing a lot of kids said when I was in school when I was a kid.
That's what I've been hearing. I missed all of that.
Yeah.
Apparently. So I don't know how I missed that. But that's also a sad as fuck song.
So
Holy
sad.
crap.
That was my last thought on this album. Is this a breakup album?
I literally cannot speculate on it because I will spiral. So I
can't do this. I can't do this anymore. I can't talk about it. When they started dating, I was too painful. Extremely nervous immediately. Mm-hmm. I was like, I'm happy for you, but really I'm not. Really, I wish this didn't happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if I talk about it for too long, it's going to be really bad. So we should not talk about it.
Okay, moving to a new segment. Again, if you want a full segment on Ego, the Hayley Williams project, hit us up.
Let us know.
We can do the content if you want it.
I am happy to talk more about it.
Okay, new segment.
Yep.
This is a segment I'm calling Just Some Questions. We're just going to have some open-ended questions. The first one relates to a topic that we've discussed in many episodes this season, which is there a song of the summer? And my proposal is that the song of the summer is Golden from K-pop Demon Hunters, which just finally topped Alex Warren on the chart and became like the first interesting thing to be #1 in the country this year.
Thank God.
Have you seen K-pop Demon Hunters? Have you interacted with this movie? Have you heard the song? Any of this?
I have not seen the movie yet. Okay. It's on my list because lots of people are talking about it. It's all the rage right now. I will say I've talked to you about the music league thing that I do with my friends. And we are on our last week of it, actually, of the whole league. And last week it was like, what is your current obsession? And one of my friends submitted Golden, and that was my first time hearing it as part of that game, and immediately loved it. I mean, it's a smash. Like,
it's probably my most listened to song this year on Spotify.
I can't believe the notes that are being hit by this person. Like, holy crap. Like, she's inventing notes that have not been heard by the human ear. I'm floored. Anyways, no, I love it. I don't think it's the song of the summer. Because for me personally, it's still Zara Larsson's Midnight Sun. Shout out to her again. She also commented on our TikTok. Thank you, Queen. We love you. We love you.
Isn't she opening for? Oh, look at the hearts.
Yes, she's opening for. Fuck, who is she opening for?
Is it Renee?
It is Renee. I think it is Renee.
I don't know. She's doing some tour.
I'm gonna have to think about it. She's opening for someone.
Keep talking. I'll figure it out.
For me, it's still Midnight Sun. I love that song. But I think an argument can be made for Golden for sure. I just think it's the summer. I know the summer, like technically, like in terms of like calendar year, has really just begun, but in terms of like what I consider to be the summer, like it kind of feels like we're at the end of it, doesn't it? I don't know. So it feels too late. It feels too late in the summer for us to have a new submission. I hate to say that. I feel like what ended up being the song of the summer was fucking Ordinary by Alex Warren.
I refuse. So in my head canon, it's Golden, which I do. First of all, Zara Lesson is opening for Tate McRae, which is way cooler.
Tate McRae, thank you. Okay, okay. That's right.
Okay, so I just want to say briefly that K-pop Demon Hunters is like an absolute banger. It's one of the best animated movies I've ever seen, and it is
wild.
Arguably my favorite movie of the year so far. Like,
wow,
it is.
That's insane.
It is a smash hit about 3 girls in a K-pop group that are tasked with protecting the world from demons, and it's just like it's incredible smash cut between like the entire plot is that the demons finally figure out in order to defeat them, they also have to challenge them on the musical stage and become a boy band, a K-pop boy band to compete with them for the charts and thus world domination. So it's a fantastic movie, but I just want to say, like, I've been listening to this soundtrack for a couple months now, because I think I watched it in June. I want to say the movie came out. We watched it right away because it was getting a lot of buzz online, and I just love this so much, and I'm really happy that Golden took off like this, because it's crazy. Because I've just read recently that K-pop is actually down in Korea. It's not as popular anymore. At the same time, it is skyrocketing in popularity in the US. So
yeah, it is.
It's very interesting.
That is interesting. Huh. Okay. Yeah. Well, I accept your submission of Song of the Summer, because it is a smash, and anything that can dethrone Alex Warren instantly becomes a favorite of mine. So 100%. Thank you, Queens.
Yeah.
Thank you, Queens, for your work. Also, a crazy stat is this is, I think, the first girl group to go #1 since Destiny's Child. And it's a fictional group from a movie. So, which brings me to my open-ended question. This is a great segue.
Yeah.
My one open-ended question is the girl group dead? And here's why I asked that. The one performance I saw at Lolla that I was not vibing with at all was Cat's Eye, who is a girl group formed from, I think, a TV show.
Yes.
And they were so lifeless on stage. And any TikTok you are seeing gassing them up from their Lolla performances, take it with a grain of salt, because you're seeing the best parts of it. You're seeing the dancing, and the dancing was phenomenal. They are incredible dancers, but only one of them was singing at any time. They never did any harmonies. One person at a time was singing. They were out of breath. They were low on energy. They were like begging the audience for validation the entire time. Like, did you guys like it? We just choreographed that the other day. This is our first time performing it. What you guys think? Like, that was their talking.
Gross.
Every time they had a talking break in between, all of them had to say something, and it took up like 5 minutes every time they spoke, because they only had like 5 songs to perform.
Oh wow.
And it was bad. I did not enjoy it at all, other than the dancing, which was phenomenal. Okay. But why is it that we can't get girl groups to stick? I feel like Fifth Harmony fizzled out. Little Mix never broke through in the US, just could not do it. And even now, none of them are really having solo careers that are popping off either. So other than Camila Cabello, and even her last album flopped.
It's like a C tier. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, what is going on with the girl group? Why can't we make this work anymore? For a while, it was in the 90s and early 2000s. That was like the thing. Why can't a girl group pop off?
Yeah. I mean, Blackpink is huge right now.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I mean, I guess maybe outside of K-pop, right? I mean,
yeah.
K-pop,
Cat's Eye is a K-pop
K-pop is
group,
all
right?
groups, really. Cat's Eye is not really K-pop, as far as I know. It's made up of many different cultures.
Okay, but I think it's the K-pop model, basically, where it's just like
for sure is
boot camp for girls, and then they figure out the superior athletes and they put them in a group together.
For sure. Yes.
So, yeah, I'm just not sure. I think economically bands are just hard right now, so I think that's a huge part of it. And
yeah,
it's just so easy to be a solo artist right now. Technology has changed massively, so it's just yeah, and we're not getting shows like X Factor now that are putting One Direction together, you know?
Yes, correct. And I don't know. I feel like a lot of live music has shifted away from over rehearsed choreographed stuff.
I agree. Sort of the jam band thing is in right now. I feel
it's
like
kind of in.
Let's remember that music actually takes some skill, and let's like show off that.
Yep.
And like all be together and vibe and stuff, you know?
Yeah. There's very few artists who are putting on like full scale productions these days. So
yeah,
in terms of choreography and all the bells and whistles, a lot of people are just getting on stage and doing their songs.
Which is so weird because you would think because of these giant arenas, you would want more of that, which is...
I know. Yeah. I don't know.
But again, the money's not there. The artists don't have the money that they used to.
True.
To have all those backup dancers. And
that is true.
I don't know. I think you're onto something. I do think just like any group of people that are making a music project together, down. Stock is not good.
It is. Yep. It just is not working. I don't know what's going on.
Either the economics have to change or I don't know. I don't know what the other alternative is. I think the economics just have to change.
Yep.
Somehow.
You're probably right.
To make it work.
Yep. It'll shift back. It always does.
Yeah. The pendulum always swings. It's like
always.
Yeah.
All right. What's your next open-ended question?
Oh, my next open-ended question is Renee Rapp cooked? And I want to say this as with the caveat of I didn't mind her new album. Actually, it is fine. I think it was listenable. It reminded me a lot of the Tate McRae album, where it's like these are all listenable pop songs, and if it is your flavor of what you like, cool. I really like the song "Shy." I've listened to it a lot, but it just seems to be devoid of any sort of identity at all.
That's how I feel. I walked away from it feeling very hollow.
Yeah,
like I just listened to a whole album, but listened to nothing at the same time.
Yes.
That's still how I feel. I've listened to it a few times now, and I liked Snow Angel quite a bit. There's a lot of stuff on Snow Angel that I found really captivating. But I walked away from Snow Angel feeling like, but I still don't really know what she's trying to be as an artist. I feel like I know her so much as a public figure and as a celebrity. Like, I feel like she has such a clear identity in that regard, but musically it just doesn't.
Yes.
There's a wall. I don't understand how to break that wall down and fuse the two. But for me, she feels more like a celebrity than a musician.
Yeah.
And I don't even know, like, I walked away from this album being like, I'm not even sure I know what I want from Renee Rapp, but I definitely
don't. I definitely don't know what I want.
Yeah. The closest I can get is like when she really lets her voice shine and realistically does more of the R&B stuff. That's the closest it gets for me, where I'm like, okay, we're doing something here. So whatever the third track on the album is, it's like they're really like kind of like R&B ballady type thing. I think it was the third single after Mad, and I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head, but that song, to me, I was like, okay, I feel like this is close to what I want. This is we're getting warmer in terms of genre, in terms of style, in terms of her vocal delivery, that kind of thing. Did you find it?
Why is she still here?
Thank you. Why is she still here? What I told my friend, who's a huge Renee Rapp stan, so please spare me if you're listening. What I told her is, I think what I want from her is to go like the JoJo route.
Yeah, that would fit for her. Yeah.
I feel like that is kind of her style. I feel like that was something that I would really buy into. That R&B, huge ballads that let her voice just rip. That's what I think she needs. And I felt like this was so safe. So much of this album was just so, like, anybody could have sang these songs.
Well, that's how I felt. It feels like this album was written for a Kelly Clarkson type and was just given to Renee Rapp. Like, it all feels like it was written for her, and then they incorporated some of her like cheeky witticisms in the lyrics after the fact, because they never feel fully integrated into the songs. You never feel like, oh, okay, this is like her real perspective. It feels like here's a Renee flavored seasoning on a pop song that was written for, I don't know, spec artist 87. You know, it's just like.
Right.
And I think it does say something about the state of pop that we just don't have very many of those artists right now to carry really good songs written by people that are not them. But it's not working for Renee. she's got to start again because it's just not working.
And the Kelly Clarkson shout was a really smart comparison because they even brought on Ryan Tedder to try and recreate Already Gone / Halo.
Oh wow, yeah.
And it was for the track Sometimes.
That one doesn't hit for me.
Now that you know it's Ryan Tedder, go back and listen to it because you're gonna be like, holy shit, this is the most Ryan Tedder shit I've ever heard in my life. Like, I do think that they were trying to make sort of like the pop rock thing happen, but the pop rock thing just isn't really happening right now. It's either pop or it's like pop punk kind of grungy stuff. I don't think the Kelly Clarkson thing is happening right now. And that's not even really my excuse because like I think it could happen. I think it could be successful, but it just doesn't feel like it was done intentionally. It kind of just feels like, oh, this works. Maybe we'll try this on Renee and see if that sticks.
Yeah. It feels like we're just trying stuff, kind of.
Yeah.
Getting to my next question, I actually didn't mention this one in the pre-show when we were talking, but this is the one I forgot. Are we concerned at all about Chappell Roan saying that her next album is going to take 5 years?
I just like, she annoys the shit out of me. I'm so honest. Can I be honest with you that I am just like so done with Chappell Roan?
I could not be more in on Chappell Roan.
I just like could not. I like her stuff, but she has not really, for me personally, until she releases an album that is worth my full attention from top to bottom with smash after smash after smash. Like I just need to disconnect from her because she just says shit. Like, I don't believe for 1 second that that's actually really true. I think she just doesn't have anything right now. And that's okay. Just say that. But like, I don't know. She just annoyed, like, I don't know what it is. Everything she says, every interview I see her in, I'm like, you annoy the shit out of me. I'm so tired of her. I just can't.
You have the ick for her in a weird way. I have the ick for her. Bad. Really bad. And I even quite like The Subway. And I've listened to The Subway.
The Giver is a smash to me. I love The Giver. That one grew on me a ton. Subway to me is like, okay, this is like pretty good.
It's a grower. When you listen to it the first couple times, you're like, oh, this is nice. But the more you listen to it, it just has this timeless, like Cranberries-esque production. It's just so great. It's very
Cranberries. It's very, very Cranberries. I like the outro so much more than I like the rest of the song.
That's super fair. Issue. I get that.
But I don't know. It's like anything extra musical from her, I just think I just need to tune out because the musical stuff works for me for the most part. It's the extra musical that doesn't.
That's fair. She's not, and actually I have this criticism of Renee too. It's like, there's an understandable pushback against the trend of like being media trained. I get that. Like people want to be authentic now. Authenticity sells. Yeah. But you can be authentic and also media trained. Yeah. Like, this is where I'm just drawing the line. Like, you think about people that are like on ESPN and stuff, they have personalities, but they're just like really good on everything they go on because they're clear with their thoughts. They're really good communicators. You can do all of that stuff and still say the things that you're feeling. Like, I just get media trained. It will help your career. I'm sorry. Like, I just no amount of I'm ignoring this is good for your career. Period.
Taylor did it just now on the podcast. Like she came off really authentic, like more so than she has in years, but it was still media trained. Yeah. You know, it was still confined and presented in a package that was acceptable, but it was authentic. And I just feel like the reason Chappell Roan annoys me is I just feel like she goes on to all these interviews and just says shit. And she's like, stop talking to me about my album. Like, it'll come out in 5 years. And 2 years from now, or even next year, she's going to drop an album and it'll all be fake. Like, I think my thing with her is I don't trust her. I don't believe her. Okay. Anytime, because I think she just says whatever the fuck she's thinking in that moment.
I think that's true.
I think she approaches fame with so much disdain and anger that it's becoming tiresome as a viewer to watch her just be ungrateful, frankly, and just not care about anything that she's done or the success that she's had and just be angry about it. And I'm not saying that like fame to me is something I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy.
Fame is a gun.
Exactly. Like I understand. I'm not saying that she's not going through some shit. She's definitely going through some shit. I just wish that she would be a little bit more careful about what she says.
Yeah,
that's where I'm at.
I concur with that. I am seeing her in October. We got tickets, so I'm like,
oh, you're kidding? Oh, great.
Ludicrously excited to see Chapel Roan.
Wait, she's touring?
Kind of. She's doing like 5 shows, 2 in New York, 2 in LA, and 1 in somewhere else.
Oh, I did see that, and 1 in like Minnesota, like where she's from, right?
Oh, I think maybe Missouri. Missouri? Is it Missouri? She's from Missouri.
It's Missouri. Yes, it's Missouri, not Minnesota.
But yeah, she's playing the Rose Bowl here, which I've never been to, so I'm really excited for that.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Anyway, very excited for that. What was my last question that I proposed before the show?
You wanted to ask a question about Lorde.
Yes. Are we still listening to Virgin?
Here's what I'll say. First of all, I just listened to it yesterday on vinyl. That's literally behind me.
Yes, there it is.
So yes, in short, yes, I am. I'm not returning to it a ton.
Me neither.
But I'm not returning to anything a ton this year.
Me neither.
And it's not Lorde's fault. I still think Virgin's a great album. I still think it's a contender for album of the year for me. But I'm not returning to anything from this year. Nothing. And that is so polar opposite to what was happening last year. Like I didn't listen to anything but my favorite albums last year. Like those were just on loop for the whole entire year. And this year I always feel like I'm on to the next thing. Like I'm trying to get to the next thing. And the first one, like I felt that way about Virgin when I first heard it. And I'm feeling like that now with Hayley.
Yeah.
So we'll see if the Hayley one sticks, because that one to me, because of the way it was packaged and released, has kept me hooked longer. We'll see if in a month from now I'm still returning to it as much as I am now, but I'm listening to that pretty much daily at this point. But yeah, it's the only thing that I am. So yeah. I don't know that it's Lorde's fault. I don't know if it's any artist's fault. I don't know if it's something in the air. I don't know if Mercury's in retrograde or something, but I just am not returning to anything. It's not just specific to Virgin.
Yeah, I agree with that. I just was, it's been an interesting experience of when I first heard Virgin, the first couple times I listened, I was like blown away by it. And now it's like completely faded from me. And I don't really understand why I've experienced those two feelings. Maybe it was just like a desperation for something to be good, and it is good, but maybe it's not.
It is good,
excellent, and I'm struggling with that.
I think that's fair. I do think one thing I will say about Virgin is something that I think is really intelligent and smart that she did was how reserved it is with the production, and how intentional it was with when she gives you the full euphoric moment. She was very clear about that in the interviews. We talked about that on the pod. But I will say, in a re-listenable aspect, that aspect of it does hold it back.
Agreed.
A bit. I think it's a great artistic statement when you first hear it, and it's like, oh, like this feels really different. It feels really cool. I understand what she was going for here.
Yeah.
But if I'm just like putting it into playlists and listening it back, like sometimes I just want to put on something a little bit more danceable, a little bit more upbeat. And because those songs are so close but never quite arrive, sometimes I find myself just not really wanting to listen to that.
Yeah. Fully agree.
I don't know. It's hard. It's very hard. But I will say Broken Glass.
Great song.
Triple platinum in my house. That's the one that's really landed for me a lot.
If She Could See Me Now is the one for me that I keep going back to.
I get that.
I am going back to a lot of older albums a lot. That's like nostalgia's big right now for me. I'm just listening to a lot of my old music.
I love that.
Which is a good segue into the final segment of this episode, as we're running a little long.
Yep.
We're going to get to a new segment. This is our top 25 albums of the 21st century so far. We're going to be splitting this up into a few episodes. We're going to start today with 25 through 21. Now, Danny and I did agree on these together. So these are not, we're going to have separate lists. We have decided on lists. And I just want to give some caveats right off the bat. First of all, Danny and I really started listening to music in earnest at the end of the 2000s. So albums that came out in like the first 8-9 years of the century, we haven't listened to a lot of those. And so we have a couple on here, but it's definitely underrepresented. So I just want to say that at the beginning, expect that. Also, just like anything, we can't fully divorce this from our own musical taste. So this will skew towards things that we like. But at the same time, we really did try to consider cultural impact and importance of these albums as well. Anything else you want to say about our selection process here?
No, I think you pretty much nailed it. We, like, for me, the decade that's kicked things off for me was the 2010s. So a lot of the 2000s will be missing from this. But something that we want to really start doing is, if there is anything that you feel like we've really missed in this list, like, oh my God, I can't believe you've never listened to XYZ, whatever it is, please come into our comments on TikTok, send us an email, send us a DM, whatever it may be, leave us a comment on Spotify that says, hey, I really want you guys to do a deep dive on XYZ album, and we will do it. We want to hear these big blockbuster albums that we've kind of just missed, and we would love to do kind of retroactive episodes on some big projects and do deep dives on those. I think that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I completely agree. So without further ado, you just want to go ahead and get into it?
Yeah, let's rapid fire the honorable mentions. We don't need to go into them, but let's rapid fire the ones that just missed the list.
Cool.
That we think are worthy of shouting out. So the ones that we considered but didn't make the list is Green Day's American Idiot, Janelle Monáe's Dirty Computer, Mumford & Sons' Sigh No More, Bruno Mars' 24 Karat Magic, A Rush of Blood to the Head, Coldplay, Heard It in a Past Life, Maggie Rogers, In the Zone, Britney Spears. And then some other ones we talked about were Blurry Face, 21 Pilots, Hot Fuss, The Killers, Illinois, Sufjan Stevens, and Random Access Memories, Daft Punk. The one honorable mention that isn't really here because of quality, but only here because of nostalgia, is Metamorphosis by Hilary Duff, because we rode so hard for that album.
Unironically, the album of our childhood.
Literally, yeah, 100%. It really was. And honestly, like, it has aged like milk, and yet it's still iconic. So,
I don't know, man. If you can't do the math, get out of the equation.
Get out of the equation.
Okay.
All right.
So
let's start at 25.
Let's start with 25. So for 25, we have Damn by Kendrick Lamar. This album came out in 2017. So first off the bat, I will address that we are only choosing one album per artist. So that this was a tough decision. Kendrick needed to be on here because he's been so influential in this century so far. And pretty much every music critic that you follow is going to have To Pimp a Butterfly or Good Kid, Mad City, his first two albums. I picked Damn, his third album. And the reason I did was admittedly two things. One, I am a white guy from the Midwest. And so this album just like appeals to me a little bit more. It's super commercial. And I was able to get into it in a way that I wasn't able to get into his earlier albums. But I also think that it had a lot to say. This album came out in the wake of a lot of the early Black Lives Matter protests, in the wake of Donald Trump's first election. And then he has a lot to say on here in between the pop moments about the state of Black America, the police, a lot of the issues that were going on at that time. And I do think it's a great time capsule of that moment, in addition to just having, Humble on it and DNA. So it's a great album, and I actually just re-listened to it in preparation for the show, and I'm just a massive fan of it. It's so good.
Yeah, you nailed it. I have nothing else to add because this is not my area of expertise, but I will say this is one of the only ones I've listened to in full from him.
Yeah, I mean it's more commercial than anything else he's put out.
It is.
Other than GNX, I will say.
GNX.
And I do tend to favor his odd numbered albums. For whatever reason, they tend to be more commercial. So I like them more. But some other tracks besides Humble and DNA that I really love on this album. I love Love featuring Zakari. That's a great song. Triple X featuring U2 is also really great as well. And then Loyalty with Rihanna, another one of my favorites. But just a lot of standouts on here, and I was surprised at how many songs I was like, oh my gosh, this is on that too. So a lot of great stuff on Damn.
Remember when Rihanna made music?
That was good times. She is one of those people that got money and was like, you know what? I don't have to do anything ever again. So
yep. And honestly, that's how I would be too. So
I would also do that. Okay, 24. You want to announce this
24. Yes, our 24th pick for our top albums of the 21st century is Songs About Jane by Maroon 5. Their one good album.
One good album.
Before they went totally off the rails. There's some good stuff from their early career outside of this, but this is the only full project, top to bottom, that is not only good but truly outstanding. I mean, one of the best debut albums probably ever. And a track list that just does not miss. I mean, you've got tracks like Harder to Breathe, She Will Be Loved, This Love, Sunday Morning. And one of my personal favorites is Shiver. I think that song absolutely rips.
Great song.
So underrated. Just like this great blend of like R&B, pop, rock, jazz, just great stuff going on here. Adam Levine's voice obviously is insane. And really the only time I felt like the whole band was really involved in the creative making process.
100%. There's elements of this album that are like a Fish-esque jam band hang out for a couple minutes, and like you just never ever see that again on any of their other work, and that's just a bummer because they're really talented.
It is. They are extraordinarily talented, but this is the only one where I felt like they all collaborated together and it wasn't just the Adam Levine show. So yeah, I have no further good things to say about. Like, I can't say enough good things about it is what I mean. And
I mean,
it's a great album.
I think if you haven't listened all the way and you think of Maroon 5 as like memeable at this point, it is worth going back and listening because my God, these songs were just freaking gold, dude. Like they just wrote some diamond ass songs in their early days and put them on a record. And my God, it's really great stuff.
It's really great. Great album. Cool.
And this was kind of the tail end of like rock being sort of the predominant pop moment. So very much feels like a time capsule in that way too.
And you see that shift just within the band itself.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, they're the example to me. A lot of artists get accused of this, but they're the true example of selling out to me. I mean, they just completely lost everything in the name of commercial viability.
Yep.
It's just kind of a bummer.
And like, to be fair, like they have so many hits. Like many hits.
They're incredibly
within
successful.
Pop music. They're a hit machine, 100%. And so like that is not an easy thing to do. People do not give enough credit to people who can write hits. And you know, Ed Sheeran gets a ton of hate for that, but that man knows the formula inside and out. And I think Adam Levine is the exact same way. He knows the formula. So I'm not saying that there isn't an art to it. I'm just saying that I think there's so much heart in the first album, and you can sort of feel the heart disappear as they get further in their career.
Yep. 100%. Yeah. All right. Moving on to 23. This is an album I finally got you to listen to, and I'm really excited to hear what your thoughts are. This is A Black Mile to the Surface by Manchester Orchestra. This came out in 2017, just like Damn did. And this album is essentially one continuous song that goes from the beginning to the end, and it is sort of a masterclass in like concept album and you know the listening experience, because it's very, very cool. I've never heard anything else like it.
It is very, very cool. I will say that I was very discombobulated listening to this because I think I got them confused with the Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
I'm dead.
So this whole time you've been talking about this, I was expecting like orchestrations and like huge electronic moments, and then it was like a folk rock album. And I was like, wait, what's going on? This isn't what I was expecting. So I had to like recalibrate at the beginning of this record to like figure out what I was listening to. So anyways, there was that. But I do think this is actually really phenomenal. It lost me a little bit towards the end, probably because
the last couple songs tail out a little bit, if we're being honest.
Yeah, well, and because they all blend together too, which I love. I love when a song flows into the next song. It's so much fun when that happens. And one of the next ones we talk about will kind of do that same thing. But the beginning, I was extraordinarily hooked. After I realized that they weren't the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, I was like, oh hell yeah, this is cool. So I was a fan.
What was your experience listening to The Moth for the first time? Did it do that thing to your brain where you It's the third song, which is kind of more like the second song.
Oh, the Moth. I felt like the third. I don't remember the names super well, but I remember the third song sticking with me, a lot. Yeah. So that makes sense.
Yeah, I remember the first time I heard that, I was so tripped out by the time signature, which I think is just normal, but it's a what's it, like a counter beat? I forget the name of that, where it's like a
I know
it's
what you're
a
talking
weird
about,
like beat subdivision of the beat or something that's going on.
Yep.
It's very interesting.
Yes. I was really tripped up by that too.
Yeah.
But it's cool. I love when music does that to me.
Really cool.
It's so unexpected like that.
Yeah. The Gold was great. Like an anthem. Love that song. You know, the Moth, again, incredible. The Wolf, the Alien, the Grocery, love all those songs. So, and they all have like, they're all named the something, except with the exception of Lead, South Dakota, which is the fourth song. But this is a concept album. I've never really deep dived into the lore of it, but there's a story. It's very 21 Pilotsy in that way, where it has like a story inside of the songs. Sure.
Yeah. I didn't dive into it in that regard either, but that's cool.
Yeah. Okay. 22. Is that where we're at now?
22. Yeah.
All right. You want to do this one?
Sure. Our 22nd pick is Future Nostalgia by Miss Dua Lipa, which I think just had to be on here. I mean, this is one of the defining albums of the 2020s for sure. Really kicked off the decade in such an exciting way, despite what was happening in the world at that time. And I think really it's her and The Weeknd that pioneered the resurgence of disco pop. So, and really brought back that 80s sound, 80s and 70s sound. And I think no one has really done it quite as successfully since she did this, in my opinion. I think this is like the pinnacle of how good it gets in a modern way.
This album is one of the saddest things about COVID to me. That we should have all been dancing to this for the entire summer, and instead we were all locked into our homes. It is such a bummer, but this album is perfect. I mean, with the exception of maybe like the last couple songs, they're just kind of fine. But it's just like it is a pop Bible. I'm not saying it's the pop Bible, but it is one of them. It's one of the reference texts, I think, going forward. It's just
completely
perfect.
Agree.
Yeah.
I mean, we're still getting remnants of the disco pop revival because of this album. Like she was such a pioneer of that sound, and the songs are just undeniable. And we're still hearing the biggest hits of that. Like I still hear Levitating out in public. I still hear Don't Start Now out in public. Like it created a whole era of time defining hits. So. Yeah, it could not be left out of this list for that reason alone.
No. Definitely revisit it if you haven't in a while, because it is tremendous. And watch the video
fun.
Of Chad, what is his last name, from Red Hot Chili Peppers? Chad Smith, their drummer, playing Break My Heart on YouTube. I forget what the channel is that he's on. Drumeo, I think.
Okay.
Go check that out. It's an awesome video. It's so fun to watch.
Cool.
Anyway, let's get to the last one for this episode. So our 21st pick for albums of the 21st century so far is Imaginal Disc by Magdalena Bay. This is one of the newest albums on the list. It came out just last year. But Danny, let me give you the floor to talk about it a little bit, because this has been a huge highlight of the century for you so far.
100%. Yeah. This album has made me rethink like what is possible within the bounds of pop music, and just this band alone. It just came out last year, but it feels like one of those projects that like cannot be ignored. And I felt that the first time I heard it. I was like, oh, this is something that hasn't ever been explored before in this way. It feels alien to me. It feels not of this world. Every time I listen to it, I'm like, we're pulling sounds from places that have never been discovered. And it's just genius in the way that it fuses infectious melody that we've known within pop music, and fusing it with sounds that are so bizarre and alien, like I said, and so foreign and just new and fresh and exciting. It's very maximalist, but in a way that is not overwhelming. it just is a wall of sound at all times, and you feel like you're not on Earth while listening to it. I don't know how else to describe it other than it feels otherworldly. And it feels like one of those albums in 20, 30 years from now, we're going to point to and be like, oh yeah, that was a catalyst for what we're listening to now.
Yeah, I agree with that completely. It does feel in that way, like it's just sort of setting the stage for what's possible sonically going forward. Because I agree, it doesn't feel like you're on the world anymore. Like you're just transported somewhere else. Yeah. Especially if you're listening to high quality headphones. Like,
oh god, yeah,
it is nuts. It's a crazy album. The production is
also an album
super good.
You can't really listen to, like, you can't just like put on the starting track and then like stop it halfway through. Like this is an album you listen to the whole way through every single time. It is fully an experience. This is another album that the tracks kind of fade into one another. There's some full stops, but it's a lot of fading into the next one, and it just is it's a brilliantly engineered album, and one that really shows you when you put in the time to create a full fleshed out project, how rewarding that can be.
Yeah, absolutely. All right.
Yep.
So our first 5 on this list are Damn, Kendrick Lamar, Songs About Jane, Maroon 5, A Black Mountain Service, Manchester Orchestra, Future Nostalgia, Dua Lipa, and Imaginal Disc, Magdalena Bay. On our next episode, we'll go ahead and move on with 20 to 16. Just quickly before we wrap here, anything sparking joy for you right now? You said you did want to talk about your birthday party.
Yeah, I'll go quickly. So Hunter for my birthday threw me a surprise party. First surprise party I've ever had. So that was really fun. And it was Traders themed. We got so cool. We got like 12 of my friends together to play the Traders. And all of us walked away from that party saying that was the most fun party we've been to in a long time. And we have to do it again immediately. Like he is such a planner that he thought everything out so well, and he organized it. He was the Alan Cumming. He even bought a kilt and a hat and did the whole thing. It was so funny. But we played it just like the show. And we all got into it immediately. We were pulling each other into rooms all over my house. Like we were taking people upstairs, pulling people into bathrooms and being like, oh my God, we think this person is the traitor. Like, here's our evidence for that. We did round tables. They got dramatic. We found the music from the show and had it playing during. We had the final fire outside at our fire pit, and people were literally yelling at each other. It was so fun. It just was so fun. You have to have the right group of people who know the show well and who want to participate and embrace the cringe a little bit. But if you can get a group of people to do that, like, I could not recommend it enough.
Oh my God, that's like
fucking blast. It was a blast. It was so fun.
So who won, the Traders or the Faithful?
The Faithfuls won. We won.
Nice.
It was great. I did not get picked for a traitor. Hunter was smart that if he picked me for a traitor, he knew that I would get picked off immediately because it was technically my birthday party.
Right.
So he made me a Faithful, and although I did not make it to the end, people. I made it to the final fire, but people got rid of me because they thought I was a traitor.
I mean, fair.
Because I flipped on my ally at the last second, who ended up being a traitor. So I was fucking right. but they got rid of me because they thought that I was not loyal and therefore I was being shady. But I was right. That's all I got to say.
Wow.
It was so fun. Highly recommend. It was fantastic. I can't wait to do it again. We all said we're going to make it a yearly tradition now to do it.
Oh, so. Cool. I'll shout out a couple things. First of all, football is basically here. So getting into fantasy, love that. Listening to my podcast daily, just preseason football's here. It's all happening. I'm very excited. The new Madden came out. I got that because I'm just a sicko. Nice. So, but I also want to shout out, new show Alien Earth that just premiered on FX, which is now on Hulu, which is now part of Disney Plus, which is now $29 a month to have both of those. So anyway, I love streaming. It's not cable. Anyway, what I was going to say is it's a really good show. It's a prequel to the original movie Alien that spawned the entire franchise. And I have barely seen any of those movies. I've seen Prometheus, and that's the only one. I really need to go watch the originals now that I've started the show. But it's very good sci-fi. It's kind of got Battlestar Galactica Westworld-y vibes. So if you're into sci-fi, really cool new show that is on Hulu, Disney Plus. If you have both, you can watch it on there. Again, I don't make these streaming services, and the people making these decisions are 70 and they need to retire. So thank you so much for listening to this super long episode. I really appreciate it. Do you have any final thoughts before we wrap here?
Nope. I think we got everything.
Okay, awesome. So like and subscribe on YouTube. Give us a follow on TikTok, and please interact with us there. That's the best place to get feedback into the show. And tell us if you want a full episode breakdown of Hayley Williams' Ego Project. And also hit us up with albums you think that we really need to hit for our top 25 albums of the 21st century so far. If they're not on our list, we'll hopefully do a listening episode and report back to you on those. So thank you so much for listening to the Daily Record Spin. We will be back in 2 weeks. No more delays this time. And we'll see you next time.